Hey guys, Jack here, hope you're all doing well. I'm back from Los Angeles, having checked out Call of Duty Ghosts. I'm extremely jet lagged. I want to go to bed, but that'd be bad because I'd be sleeping in the daytime and then waking up at the night time, and then all sorts of crazy stuff is going to start happening. But still, I need to stay awake. There's loads, like absolutely loads of Battlefield 4 news. It's been released over the last couple of days. This is where you can get all the best information and content right here. Let's get into it. First off, new post on the EA Battlefield blog. Now we've got Alan Kurtz, one of the lead core gameplay designers on BF4, walking us through the nitty gritty of some of the changes in BF4 relating to the classes and also the field upgrade. Lots of great information that we've not really seen before here. I'm going to walk you through it now. First off, we get to see 3 high resolution renders of the characters in BF4. So this is the first time we've seen the Russians. Look at those pesky Russians, they look really sexy, and I'm pretty sure the Russian assault on the end there is actually a woman. Looks like a womanly figure. The face is a bit feminine as well. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, I don't know. What do you guys think? Of course, we also get to see the Chinese dudes, which we've sort of seen before, and also some lovely high resolution images of the US soldiers, and they look absolutely fantastic. Love the character design in this game, it's looking great. Mr. Kurtz goes on to explain the changes that the Engineer class and the Support class have had in BF4. The Engineer has a lot more variation in anti-vehicle weapons. We've also revamped the way we do vehicle disables and guided weapon systems to give the Engineer a broader set of tactics at his disposal. This includes everything from high damage weapons that may be more challenging to use, like the RPG 7v2, to fire and forget smart weapons with lower damage like the MBT Law, and the fan favourite wire-guided Engineer missile, the FGM 172 SRAW, that you might recognise from Battlefield 2. The support kit has a few more offensive options, and thanks to community feedback, will retain his C4 and claymores from BF3. Obviously, when we found out that the C4 had been taken away from support and given to recon, that's a really good buff for the recon class, but I think everyone sort of felt like that would just leave the support class absolutely nerfed. Like that XM25 grenade launcher thing didn't really seem all that great, but apparently Mr. Kurtz is now saying that the support class has got the C4 back, which I'm sure all those C4 love bunnies will appreciate. He also goes on to talk about something new that we've not heard about before, and it's a redesigned remote control mortar which allows the support class to indirect fire from a distance. Also, the ability to equip carbines and DMRs gives him an added versatility in combat roles. So as you know, if you're a BF3 player, the support weapons are very inaccurate, and unless you're pretty close range and you're holding down the trigger, you can't really kill anyone. They're not very effective, especially when compared to the assault rifles. But now in BF4, because any class can equip carbines and DMRs, maybe we're going to see some interesting support loadouts. So that's quite interesting. Looking forward to checking that out. Next up, he goes on to talk about suppression. We're increasing the suppression effect of light machine guns exclusive to the support kit, while other weapons are less suppressive. Additionally, we've decreased suppression at close range to ensure that close quarter battles always focus sharply on player skill. Just chiming in here, me personally, that's great, and from my experience of playing the alpha and the game at E3, it really was like that. If you were close range to someone and they were firing at you with like an assault rifle, you really didn't notice the suppression effect at all, and it meant that player skill really has a big impact there. Besides changing the visual effects of suppression, we're also replacing the accuracy penalty in Battlefield 3 with a scope sway effect. Similar to what snipers get in BF3 while suppressed, a skilled focused player can keep his aim on target and get hits, even whilst under the effect of suppression. Next up, he mentions field upgrades, which, as we talked about last week, are the replacements for squad and single specializations. So you can track your progress in the field upgrade progress bar, and apparently they're calling this the bro bar at DICE. That's the name that it's internally known as, so I'm just going to go with that name. That's a cool name. That's going to be called the bro bar from now on. Deal with it. Each of the playable kits have 4 upgrade careers to choose between. 2 of these are global and usable for any kit. One of them focusing on offense and the other on defense. Offense starts with sprint and goes through ammo, more grenades and reduced fall damage. These give you quicker sprint speeds, more available ammo magazines, 1 extra hand grenade, and allows you to fall from greater heights without taking any damage, respectively. This universal upgrade path is great for players who enjoy being at the front lines and leading the charge, so assault players are probably going to go with that package. Meanwhile, the defensive path will net you armour, cover, flak and quick regen. These grant you increased protection from shots to the chest, a decreased rate of being suppressed, a decreased damage from explosions, and a shorter time span before the out-of-combat health regeneration kicks in. If you're more defensive-minded, perhaps playing as a support from the sidelines, that can be an excellent choice. So as well as the 2 universal offensive and defensive field upgrade careers, you'll also be able to choose between 2 upgrade paths that are unique to your class and allow an increased specialization in specific combat roles. So while the Assault Kit has the unique Combat Medic and Grenadier upgrade paths, Engineer can choose between specialising in the roles of either a mechanic or an anti-tank soldier. The first of these is all about repairing your own vehicles and keeping them topped up, while the later deals with taking out enemy armour. So as you can see, they've greatly increased the number of unique specialisations available in the game. In BF3 it was 7, in BF4 it looks like it's going to be 25. And they say that that's a conscious design choice to allow for greater variety and unique battlefield role you play however you want to play. It's pretty cool. So in the blog post, they've also posted like a little table of all of the specializations that are going to be available in BF4. They also say that they are in an alpha stage and some of these are probably going to change. There might be more, there might be less. Also, the names might change themselves. So take a look at these. I'm not going to read all those out, but if you want to check them all out, you can pause the video. Some very interesting stuff in there anyway. Just pause the video, have a quick scan. Let me know what you think. Alright, so plenty of information on that blog post. I'll link it in the description so you can go and check it out yourself if you want. Moving away from that, the official Battlefield YouTube have started releasing some new only in Battlefield clips, and these are very clever, and I really like the marketing style that DICE and EA are going for here with these videos. So I presume that these are players that they've got in Battlefield players. They might not be Battlefield players, and I'm guessing that it's from the recent play session in Los Angeles. They've had them sit down, play the game, and then recorded them afterwards talking about moments that happened in the game and why they thought it was cool. Now, as they're talking about these moments, they're also showing the actual in-game footage of when that happened. Obviously, with the spectator mode, they can do that. So it's sort of like unique individual only in Battlefield moments that have actually happened. They've got it recorded, they show you it. And yeah, it's pretty funny, really. This guy in particular wins, in my opinion. I stabbed him in the water. Go and check that out. Obviously, we knew already that you can stab people in the water. If you checked out my BF4 footage from E3, there's actually a moment where I stabbed some guy in the water because I ran out of ammo, same as this dude. But at the time, I think the animations weren't present, so it goes a bit wonky, and I end up extracting the guy's magazine from his weapon. It all goes a bit weird and quite sexual, so I'm going to run that footage just so you can see that there. But yeah, those are all pretty cool videos, lots of unique only in Battlefield moments, and you should go over to the YouTube channel and check them out. Next up, similar to BF3, it looks like the sound files and a lot of data has been ripped from the BF4 alpha. I think this actually happened a while ago, but I'm not sure if I had the sound clips there. But yeah, apparently some dude, I found this on Reddit, actually found a file which indicates that Metro is going to be back in BF4. Now, obviously we've heard rumours of this before, that in the second Assault DLC they're going to see Caspian Border and Metro remade as BF4 maps, so pretty interested to see how they rock the Levolution with those. But yeah, here we go, ambient Paris _ subway, and I believe that in the BF3 game files, Metro was labelled as subway and Paris subway, so yeah, maybe we will actually see Metro in BF4. Next up, if you haven't noticed already, Origin are getting involved with the Humble Bundle. So if you go on the website, link is in the description. Basically, you can pay what you want, literally whatever you want. So you could go like $13.37 or literally 13 cents or 20p, whatever you want. And you can get games like Medal of Honor, Mirror's Edge, Dead Space 3, Burnout. Also, if you spend like a minimum of $5, you can get BF3 and also The Sims, I think it is. So essentially, you get a load of games for a really cheap price. What have you got to lose? If you don't have those games, you can get some real cracking bargains there. Now, if you're like a new PC player, there's some great stuff there too. Go and check it out. Some Gamescom news here as well. DICE have confirmed that we're going to see a new map and a new game mode in BF4. Is this going to be the elimination game mode that was talked about in the game files? We'll have to see. I think there were a couple of other game modes in there as well. It might be something completely new that just blows everyone out of the water. We just don't know, but we're going to see that at Gamescom next week. They've also announced that we're going to see some jet gameplay at Gamescom. Now, I believe they did this with BF3. I think for Gamescom in 2011, they actually took a massive jet into the convention center, and that's the first time they showed the jets in the game. So it makes sense. Bring a jet in real life, show a jet in the video game. It works out, guys. Just go with it, okay? So yeah, at Gamescom we're going to see the Chinese J20 Stealth jet. I've got no idea what type of jet that is. You can probably look it up online. I'm not really into jets. I was not a big jet fan when I was a kid. Apart from that, I think that's pretty much it. There was also this screenshot which was released like 4 or 5 days ago. You may have seen this already, but if you haven't, it's pretty cool. It's explosive. Looks like it's on Siege of Shanghai, the map that we've been seeing loads of. Finally, it looks like a few developers at DICE are preferring the PS4 over the Xbox One as the next generation choice. Turns out that in a number of territories, the Xbox One has been delayed until 2014. And this includes Russia, Sweden and Denmark. Alan Kurtz, who I mentioned earlier in the video, said on Twitter, "I see Microsoft seems intent on making it easier and easier to pick PS4 for Gen 4 in Sweden." Gustav Halling also joined in saying, "Not sure what the Xbox is thinking when not launching in a progressive country like Sweden. We always buy what is hot and that'll be the PS4." Pretty weird decision that, I think, Microsoft deciding to delay the Xbox One in those countries until 2014. I think you would see those countries as big potential audiences for that console, but hey, who knows, they must have their reasons. Little snippet of information here. It's been revealed by DICE that in BF4 stat progression will continue from current gen to next gen. So say for example you've got an Xbox 360 or a PS3 and you decide to play BF4 on that for a few months, and then your ship comes in, you get a load of money and you decide, I want to upgrade to next gen, and you upgrade and you get BF4 on your next gen platform, your stats will carry on. So you're not going to have to start from zero basically. All that progress that you get on the current gen consoles will continue onto the next gen consoles, which is always a joy. And that's it for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed this one. It was a big one. That's what she said. Lots of information and news in here. Nice little bit of a roundup for you just before the weekend. You can just soak all that information in. Juicy. Leave a rating and a comment. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one.